It's the two-time Stellar Award considered, Spin Award nominated. You're listening to the Psalmist Voice Radio Network.
Told you don't come again now. Yeah. I remember the days where I know get nothing. If I'm say I be something until you came in, yeah.
I remember when no one could see me. Some people even wanna be me. Who am I deceiving? Yeah.
But your love reached out this kind and I know it shall.
You opened my eyes to who I am. Yeah.
And now I'm sold out. Your name will be on my mind.
And now I know how I fit in your plan. Yeah.
I am nothing without your love. I am nothing without you, Lord. I am nothing without your grace to me.
I am nothing without your love. I am nothing without you, Lord. I am nothing without your grace to me.
Oh, I'd be lost in the dark if it wasn't for your love for me.
Oh, if it wasn't for what you did on Calvary.
Oh, the enemy intended me to take the fall.
But you nailed it to the cross,
But
yeah.
your love reached out this kind and I know it shall.
You opened my eyes to who I am,
And now I'm
yeah.
sold out. Your name will be on my mind.
Now I know how I fit in your plan,
I am
yeah.
nothing without your love.
Jesus who makes us good as this is where unashamed, unafraid, trusting in your name. We know what? We know that all power rests in your hands. All power rests in your hands. All power rests in your hands. We know what? We know that all power rests in your hands. All power rests in your hands. All power rests in your hands. So we enter your land, safe and secure, with power and love, and the sound mind of Christ.
God bless you, ladies. You ready to rock and roll?
Good morning.
Good morning.
You have now tuned in to Conversations with
Jo
and Jay.
Right now on TPV Radio.
Blessings, ladies. We need you to unmute.
Always a problem with unmuting it.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
So today we're going to jump right into our conversation. And our conversation today is
This.
social media.
Yes, social media.
The pros and cons of social media. So Joe's going to give us the definition.
The definition.
Gonna jump right in.
As always. So social media are websites and applications that enable users, people, to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Social networking is finding people with similar interests to oneself. So that's
social
what it is.
networking.
Mhm.
Right. So,
and that could be personal or it could be business.
Right.
You should be looking for someone that has an interest in, what's the biggest one is weight loss stuff.
right.
Man, they hit you right in the morning time, first thing. Mm-hmm.
Make you feel bad and all that.
Uh-huh.
So the thing about it is we are social butterflies in general. I feel like a majority.
All of us or just us?
No, well, us too.
Okay. So you know what? Right.
A lot of people are social butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
So when social network came about, man, y'all remember MySpace? MySpace, you got the music playing, you got your little screen, you got your back. That was a lot of tech. You had to be real tech savvy to do a lot of that
because you
stuff.
had to use like letters and links and stuff to click
codes
on codes.
And
that's what I was for.
I'm like letters.
But do you remember how many? Yeah, that's what because it was like I don't know what that is.
Right.
But you remember that there were a lot of problems with that.
Right.
People were getting
computers. Computers
all
getting
of that
viruses.
And
all that. Yeah. I used to like MySpace though. I thought MySpace was fun. But now we have
I just watched my kids on it.
We have everything. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Snapchat, we have Twitter. I was never a tweeter. That was just it didn't make sense to me. I was like, why do I want you to know my every move? You know what I mean? Like everywhere I go, it's not.
Well,
necessary.
some people do.
That's
won't mention any names, but there are some
extra.
people that really, really want you to know every single thought.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So
we're gonna go into the pros and cons. So some of the pros are for the benefit of business, the benefit of having your business pushed and marketed and streamed and all that on social media versus like your personal life. I feel, it's my opinion, I feel I leave a majority of my personal life off of social media. Ain't none of nobody's business. To me, that's just to me. Some people will tell you their whole relationship. But I think for the purposes of business, it's important. I think we're live because people are seeing this, right?
That's too funny.
Yeah, it's okay. Y'all gonna see it again.
Gonna repeat it again, so we'll just answer you here.
But I think for the purposes, good morning, Hadassah. I think for the purposes of business, you can do a lot of great things on social media. What do you think?
I think you can as well. I think for business especially because, like I said just now, in the morning time, especially like during COVID and all this kind of stuff, it's become a habit where people find out what's going on. So they look to the social media, Instagram and Facebook, and they see even like, the old commercials. They're basically commercials. Social media, it's basically commercials. It's full of commercials.
Yeah.
Because I'm hooked up to it's called a Bell County Food, and I forgot what it's called. Anyway, they have when they have plates, people selling food out of their houses and their things, but they're making big money. Yeah, they're making the money to get their truck.
Oh,
so that can be positive because people don't like to cook.
Right.
So I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
I was using social media.
Yeah, pop-ups.
What?
Is
that positive or negative?
Pop-ups? No, because pop-ups can be good if you're selling something, or if you have an event, or you want to share information, commercial, like you were saying, the commercials. So you'd be sponsored commercials on social media. You'd be scrolling, you'd be thinking that you're just seeing your friend stuff, and then lo and behold, you see something random. And you're like, what is this? Hold up, I didn't ask. And then I always look and it says sponsored. And so I'm like, oh, okay. But
we can be sponsored too if you want to.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you the Cash App. But I truly feel like for good reasons, social media can be good. Let's talk about the cons, right? And the first thing that pops up in my mind is, like I said earlier, like with your personal stories. Now, here's the thing. If it's not ratchet or inappropriate or drama, sure, post. If it's your personal life, right? If you're, hey, little Tink Tink graduated finally after all these, you know, like if it's something along those lines, okay, cool. But I want to encourage people to try to leave their personal life off social media.
Because if you put your stuff out there, that means that you are giving people the opportunity to respond to it,
right?
And
then be mad
necessarily a nice.
Calm down, Sandy. Calm down.
And then
then be mad when someone says, "Well, you should have left him." Hold up,
right?
Hold up. You know, but I understand, and I get it. And people have their emotions, and they have their opinions, and people are entitled to their own opinions.
So I think it's about boundaries,
right?
And I think that they think, okay, well, I got boundaries. I don't let people in my business. I tell people how I feel.
Right.
I don't let them talk about.
Be ready for that smoke.
But
be ready.
But here's the deal: the boundary is that they think social media is within their boundary, and it's not.
Right.
Matter of fact, that's not just opening the
gate.
gate.
That's share.
It's opening the whole garage,
right,
and the windows and everything else.
Air it out.
Exactly. And so we have to be careful about that. But you know what the other negative part? I mean, because you and I are talking really mostly about adult stuff.
Right.
But
the kids.
The children.
Ooh, the kids.
The children, I can't tell you how many
Where
kids
that phone at?
that I have in my office because of bullying, but not because of face-to-face bullying. Because you would think, oh, well, there's the pandemic, you know, bullying has lessened. No, actually an increase.
Right, because kids are bored
of social media.
Kids can be so
Have you heard about, what is that place? What is that thing called? The kids told me about it. It's I can't remember it because, you know.
Yeah.
But those kids are getting on there and they're getting in these chat groups and they're getting into these things and they call them, those are their friends.
Oh.
And they don't have any friends.
And that is becoming the norm.
Yeah.
That is becoming the normalcy within the community, is like,
and people think that that's okay.
Right.
That it's okay. But then why are they in my office?
Right. They going to get seen. It's
why are
they
in my, well, I have friends on da-da-da-da. But they
you know,
got anxiety and they got depression.
Speaking of
trying
kids,
to kill themselves.
Right. And speaking of kids, I think about predators.
Yes.
I think about predators. That's why mine are 11, 13, and 17. Now the 17-year-old, he think he grown, he not. But I finally gave in. I let him have a phone. He had straight A's and 1 B. So I was like, dang, he kind of earned that. So I gave him a phone after he turned 16 months. Almost half a year after he turned 16. Okay, but I still let him know certain things. Now my 11 and 13-year-old, no sir, no, we're not doing that. Yeah, when the camera's off, it's a whole another story, absolutely. But with the little ones, because they're already like, sir, I need you to clean your room consistently. You can't handle my youngest is like, oh, I want to get a job. Clean your room when I don't ask you to. So little things like that, like I can't trust, like this is just me. It kind of baffles me when I see these little elementary and middle school
with iPhones.
With phones.
Or
I don't
Samsung
care what kind of phone it is.
How come your phone bigger than mine?
I don't care what kind of phone it is. To me, it's just
you
like,
have a
really? I tried to protect. Anyway, we can go on into that. But predators, right? I think about the predators, and people are sick, and people have issues, and they crave and they thrive off of going after these young kids. And these young kids be like, oh, I'm not gonna go. and be the main ones.
But the interesting part is here's a phenomenon that is really interesting about that, because we usually think about the dirty old man that's 8 years old.
Nope.
And
No.
they're being predators for these kids.
Right.
But some of them are 18 and 19
Right.
years old.
Right.
They're predators.
Or the same
predators,
age.
Or the same age. And
Right.
they're being predators. So a lot of times we used to say to the kids, hey, if they're 14, 15 years old, just like you, then, it's okay to talk to. But and that's where a lot of this bullying is coming from.
Right.
They are grooming them. They have like in sex trafficking, they send the young ones out to get them. And people are like, oh, that doesn't happen. I can tell you case after case that I've had where I've had a young lady. I had a young lady that in a nearby high school was mad at this girl. They were fighting and doing things, and she decided to go to a party with this girl,
right?
And ended up missing for 3 and 4 days. Yes.
Oh God.
The only reason why she got away because they had drugged her at the party. You know how that goes.
Wow.
But she had got drugged at the party, and then and she stayed there for 3 or 4 days, and finally she escaped. She escaped.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
escaped.
Okay.
Right.
And I used to think, like, not saying that this doesn't happen to boys, because boys are victims as well.
Oh my God.
But I used to really think God knew what he was doing. Like when people, you should have a girl. God knew what he was doing when he didn't give me no girls. Like, he knew what he was doing, because man, I'm telling you. But even with my boys, I'm very overprotective. And because you never know, and it could be some show me your, and let's see if it's big. No. Like I really think about, and I'm not in fear because I'm constantly encouraging them, and I don't want to beat them over the head with it. Like, you can't be on. Because even when I found out my son had an Instagram, I was like, who you following? Like I went to look, and I'm like, nope, nope. But and some people be, they're boys, let them. Nah, they my boys. That's the point.
Right.
So but I really feel like using social media for the good, and I get it. You have family all over. I have family on the West Coast, the East Coast, down South, and to communicate and for them to see what I'm doing and me to follow.
Right. And so that's okay. A positive.
That's a positive. Right.
Because one of the things that did happen during the and I talk about this before about being adopted. COVID came along, and my mother who I found recently, she is and she's up in age, and she has some different medical issues. So I was sad because then I couldn't actually go visit her. But the funny thing is that because of COVID, they began a family Zoom chat. Right. So every Sunday, now every other Sunday, because people are back out in the world, but every Sunday for a couple of hours, we would get on the Zoom, and I met so many people in my family that I got to know because I had that opportunity to get on the Zoom with them. So there are positive things, but is that social media? And I think that we turned Zoom into a social media platform.
Yeah.
Because of that, because that's social, that's not business. Most people use Zoom for business meetings that are across the coast or from coast to coast.
But can you imagine what else they're using Zoom for? You know what I mean?
I didn't talk about that.
No, I'm just saying. No, right. We're having a conversation. No, I'm just saying.
It just kind of made me go,
yeah, because you can imagine, like, hey, you got Zoom? Yeah, I got Zoom. Hey, what they say, it goes down in the DMs. So you just think about things like that.
And a lot of people.
It's a family show. I know.
Snapchat is the one that can get really scary.
Snapchat. We're gonna look into that. We're gonna talk about that.
Why do you think it's scary?
Well, here's my thing.
I think it's scary, but why do you think it's scary?
Here's my thing. People think that they're safe on Snapchat, especially guys. Being transparent, I feel like when guys are like, "Do you have a Snap?" What are you trying to say? To me, it's like, oh, you trying to do something strange for some change? I don't know, but I think it's unsafe because people think it's the safe zone, right? They think that, they can share, you can't record me, you can't screenshot me. And guess what? They do it anyway. And then they be done. Because then you block them and all that. And then it's like, but you already got access to, y'all don't be doing nothing crazy on Snap now. Don't be doing nothing crazy on Snap because it's not as safe as you think it is. People can still screen and you get notifications. That's the thing.
And so
why do you think it's not safe?
Well, I think also it's that boundary thing again, because they feel like they think it's private. And when you think it's private, or you think you're in your box by yourself and that no one's going to see or hear it, you open yourself up to some things that might be, especially young people, that might be in their mind. They might not really be wanting to do those things, but they want to know what that is.
Right.
And so they get lost and they get caught up in all of this drama. It gets held against them because they do record it and they do, you know, and then you have all this stuff and your reputation, even though half of them doing it, oh yeah, so-and-so and so-and-so, you're the news of the week. You know, Newsweek. The
news of the week.
You are the news of the week.
I forgot the one website that used to catch everybody. What is it? Pastor Chris, you probably know it. Anything is accessed and is recorded due to the news. Yep. Obligations that were put in place. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially now. So the biggest thing about that is that you have to be mindful about the social media that you choose to use, how you use it. I always talk about, you know, people say, oh yeah, on my Facebook, I got all kinds of ratchet
They be
stuff.
thinking that their Facebook is private.
Actually they say, or on the opposite side, they say all this ratchet stuff comes up on my Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Who are your friends?
Right, exactly.
On my Facebook, except for a few of my family members who remain unnamed. Nameless. All the stuff that comes up on mine is usually encouraging, because you start talking garbage, you will get blocked. But that's my thought process. And so
edition World Star.
Yeah, how you know, Pastor
World
Chris?
Star. Oh my God.
You have to know.
Listen,
and to hide yourself,
be in the know.
To hide yourself under a bushel, to hide yourself underneath something and not, I don't need to know about that. I don't need to know about that.
Right.
Yes, you do. You do need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
You need to know what's going on around you and how situations are happening. You do need to know that.
Listen, I have to,
You too?
with girls. Yeah. So the Facebook, so we did some research, the Facebook generation. So it says females 18 to 24, right? Men age 25 to 34. Instagram is age 25 to 34. That's 31%. 48% of TikTok is ages 18 to 29. This is their target market. This is who they're wanting to be on their social platforms. Snapchat, 69% is ages 13 to 17. So it's like, wow. Twitter, 42% is ages 18 to 29. This is their target market.
So here's the funny. Okay,
Yeesh.
so what's the oldest age on all of this?
The oldest age is like 34. I've exceeded
So that means I needed to be off of any of those.
Now, it's not saying that because if you're not in that age range, but that is who they are wanting to target. That is the age range they're wanting to target.
And so I was making a funny about, me being older and being on some of those things. But the interesting thing is that even though they're targeting these ages, except for that 13-year-old one,
right?
All of them have 13-year-olds on it.
Right.
Even though
TikTok,
it says,
oh my God.
Even though it says that, you got to be 18 to get on this. What do they do? They change their birthday and put it in.
Exactly.
How do you
then
find
be
out
forgetting what their birthday is?
And make a new one.
I was listening to the radio the other day. I still listen to the radio. And they were saying something about a video where a little girl was dancing and she was just having a good time. It was a cute little girl. And then all of a sudden it went to like craziness, like a guy getting assaulted, basically. And it was like, but they trick you. People are really crazy, sick in the head. They start off with this cute little image and the girl's dancing, and then bam, you're like, oh, and you're terrified. And so that's why I don't allow my children, because I'm like, stuff like that happens and you can't control that. My son was showing me a video the other day and I was like watching it, and then all of a sudden just curse words going crazy. And I was like, turn it off. I'll turn it off, and you can't listen to it. And I don't want you to, because we are unaware of the things that people are trying to do. And I'm just saying, it's people that are not right in the head that are on social media. So the pros and cons, there's so many. We will be here for another hour going into it, but for the benefit, at least for adults, you know, I say, like, if it's business related, or if you're keeping in contact with your family or friends, my mom's found high school friends on social media.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
how ours are. Yes.
Awesome.
Like we're getting ready to have, I won't say which year. I'll say what year, I don't care. We're getting ready to have our 35-year. We're going to have a class reunion for 35 years instead of 40, because one of the person said, hey, do you think we should do 35? Because some of us is falling out like flies. And I was like, oh, that's sad. Yeah, we should. And so, but you know, if we didn't have, back in the day, it was hard to get a hold of people. You know, you write a letter, you had to write a letter 6 months in advance to say, hey, can you come to this class reunion in 6 months?
Yeah.
You know, and then they have to write back and all this other stuff.
Right.
So with social media, the way that
You're
is,
able to track that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's on.
Speaking of high school,
Colleen High School, 1988. Okay.
we have a class. Now, granted, I didn't really graduate from that school, but it's all good. I went there the whole 4 years.
Right.
But they just recently had posted yearbook pictures, right? And I stayed in the yearbook. Listen, we in the yearbook. We make you taking yearbook pictures, and you know, like I made sure. That's just it. But it was such a rekindling, you know, of my youth, like to see all those pictures, and I'm in most of them, you know.
That's
and so
funny.
I was really excited, but I wouldn't have saw that had I not been on social media and following that particular page.
So there are some positive things about getting on.
Right.
We are in the same.
I'm reading it, Joe. You talking?
Go ahead. Well, you looked and I was like, wow, that's a long one. Kim.
Okay, I'll read it.
Kim say?
We are in the same boat. Our sons beg us for a phone because he is the only one in his class who does not have one. He is 9 years old. Oh no, top, nope. But when a phone comes, that's just me. He's not my child. Social media comes and he's too young for that. Absolutely. 9? No, sir. Go sit down. Like we're not even.
So you know, the older people have that phone. Ugh, I hate to say, but the older people have that phone that you know, you just make calls and all that kind of stuff, and they don't really have, you know.
Man, I got my.
I wonder if you can get one of those for the kids.
Listen, I got my 13-year-old a flip phone. He still figured out how to get on YouTube.
On the flip phone?
On the flip phone. Like, sir, what? The flip. I'm like, he's on that flip phone.
How do you watch?
You can only play Snake so much.
How do you get?
Yo, he figured it out. He figured it out.
And
I was
kids,
very
that's that generation. What generation?
I was impressed, but I was also disappointed because I was like, how? On YouTube.
Generation Z.
Yes, not until he gets a job or makes some money. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even then, you in my house.
And I like Kim's face right there. She said,
Man,
Facebook.
My oldest daughter has a phone for good reason. She is 10. Okay, Chris, that's your household.
Right. No. And so here's what some of it is because of the things that are going on.
You gave me coffee today. That's why I'm on 10.
Yes,
I don't drink coffee.
So because of the things that are going on today, I understand why some of it with the phone, and that's how come I was saying about, you know, there are phones that, you know, the older people get because in that generation, they're not as tech savvy to, you know, go through apps and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So what if there is such a thing as a phone that is just a phone that they can't
They don't make them anymore, Joe. I tried to find them.
Really?
I used to work for the cell phone company.
AT&T and C.
I used to work for the cell phone company. They don't have them.
They all are.
Everything is now transitioning. What do we call it? Vintage. That's vintage now. To have phones that don't have access to the internet. I'm telling you, the boy had the flip phone, the Cricket. He had the flip phone and still was able to get on YouTube. And I was impressed and disappointed at the same time because I was like, nothing's safe.
Everything's a smartphone.
Yeah. Everything is smart. And that's
She said, this is
why.
my first rodeo, girl. Hold on.
Hey, that's why I got a house phone. Remember we were just talking about the other day. I
No,
still got a house
vintage,
phone.
isn't it?
That's vintage.
Yeah.
That you can't get on the
Yeah.
internet with the house phone. And
Yeah.
if they at the house, listen, yes, vintage. Yeah. I mean, because and I get it, because I know some people who are very sheltered with their kids, and we've been on kids for a minute. We've been on kids for 15 minutes.
But the reason why is because social media, because adults, unless they got some things going on with themselves,
Right.
The problems lie mostly with the adults.
Yes.
Or it's either the adults or the older people that don't have access to outside, that listen to the garbage that's going on the
Right.
social media. Then that's the problem as well, because they have some thoughts that you're like, what in the world?
And thoughts.
You know, so right. But mostly the problem is with the kids.
Right.
And because they don't have any supervision.
I am very mindful, and not just because of even before I became a mentor, which I've been a mentor for many years, but even before, I was mindful of the things I said and did on social media because I had kids following me. And I don't think adults feel like that. I think adults have their nieces and cousins and little baby so-and-so on there, and they still just expose them to things that they should not be exposed to. And then they'll say, because I know these people, they know who they are. They'll say, well, their parents shouldn't have them. What? You know, all right, to each his own. Every household is different. What is our, because we're coming up on our time. Gosh. What do we have a quote for the week? I can come up, you got nothing. Look, quote for the week is, be mindful of your behavior on social media.
Yeah, I like that.
Be mindful.
Be mindful.
I'm not saying like PG-10 your social media, but I am saying be mindful of who's following you, because you really never know. Well, you know, because you click add or you click accept. So you know who's on there, you have an idea, but just be mindful. Like some of our kids are not privy to just turn to the next part, you know, be mindful of your behavior, period. Yes, thank you, Miss Kimberly. But you have now tuned in to, look, don't give me no more coffee.
I'm bringing her coffee every week.
No, I don't drink coffee. It was good though, that Frappuccino. But you have now tuned into Conversations with
Jo
and Jay. Y'all have a blessed week. Thank you.